I always find it so fascinating how the mainstream media likes to pick and choose what constitutes as a violation of the woke commandments. The real commandments, the 10 commandments, pretty straightforward. There is no gray area. Thou shalt not kill, pretty direct. Don't take anyone's life. Thou shalt not steal. Don't take something that doesn't belong to you. There is no gray area. Now, that doesn't mean it's okay to steal something as long as it's under $1,000. It doesn't mean it's okay to steal something as long as it's from a multi-billion-dollar corporation that can afford to absorb the loss. It means don't fucking take something that's not yours. The 10 commandments, they're pretty simple to understand. Now, the woke commandments, not so much. One of the woke commandments, thou shalt not discriminate. On the surface, it seems pretty simple. It seems like something that all of us would agree with, but you have to understand the real meaning behind it. You see, you are allowed to discriminate against white men. You're allowed to discriminate against rich people. You were even allowed to discriminate against black people. Bet you didn't see that one coming, did you? If a black person isn't down with lifelong celibacy, according to the woke commandments, they open themselves up to discrimination. When Moses or God made the 10 commandments, he made them direct enough that everyone could understand them. He made them easy to follow. When it comes to the woke commandments, they're impossible to follow. Everyone violates them at one point or another. Even the people that wrote them, they're some of the biggest violators. One of the woke commandments is thou shalt not commit misogyny. This is one of the many woke boner words. Oh, misogyny. I love a good game of misogyny Monopoly. I always like to buy open border walk and can't park in her place. Last weekend at the Kentucky Derby, Rich Strike shocked the world by being one of the biggest underdogs to ever win the Derby. We had hundreds of bets on the Kentucky Derby last weekend. We had one play on Rich Strike. Someone bet him, and I think it was plus 10,000 odds for $10. He ended up winning $1,000. Anytime someone becomes a celebrity overnight and they're not a member of Woke United Methodist, the mainstream media does everything they can to tear them down. These miserable fucks, they only want to do their jobs when it fits their narrative. When the research team at ESPN found what I'm about to share with you, they knew they hit the woke trifecta. As you guys know, I have sources inside the worldwide leader in woke. When they uncovered this information, it was a giant woke orgy in Bristol. There were woke hugs all around. Stephen A. Smith, Max Kellerman, they settled their little tension with a nice round of butt bongo. JJ Redick, he recovered from his woke initiation last week. He was seen participating in the woke hug with Jalen Rose. It's been reported JJ is starting to loosen up. Jalen Rose, he was able to insert 2 fingers this time. The trainer of Rich Strike is an evil white man. He looks to be in his 50s, maybe 60s, which qualifies him under woke law as a former slave owner. In their minds, any white man over the age of 50 was alive during the Civil War and obviously was a slave trader. Executives at ESPN, they approved overtime for the virgins and the nerdium. They knew it would take a lot of time to dig up old information on Eric Reed, the trainer of Rich Strike. The guy, he was a relatively unknown. This is likely the first time you're hearing about him. But the overtime hours paid off. They hit the woke trifecta. They found a tweet from an evil white man about a black person who identifies as a woman that referenced a sexual act. Check, check, check. ESPN, they didn't confirm this account actually belonged to Eric Reed. The fucking picture is the guy from one of those beer commercials. The Twitter bio, it does reference the horse facility that Eric Reed owns. It's entirely possible it's his personal Twitter account. I don't know. I don't fucking care if it is. What was so bad about this tweet? KC, he said Kamala Harris was good on her knees. And? So? Maybe he was giving her a compliment. Maybe he was talking about her skills in the art of prayer. Have you seen some of the shit social justice warriors say about people they don't agree with? Hell, right now, they are outside the homes of Supreme Court justices, forcing them to stay inside. Not because they're afraid of the COVID, they are afraid of the thousands of other diseases social justice warriors are carrying. These people are like wild animals. They have rabies, they have scabies, shingles, fleas, ticks. If you come in contact with a woke warrior, you should immediately quarantine yourself. You don't want to spread the fungus to innocent people. Earlier this week, I think it was yesterday, Outside the Lines centered an episode around Rich Strike and Eric Reed. Outside the Lines used to be an excellent show. It was like the 60 Minutes of sports. Bob Lee, Tom Rinaldi, they used to do actual investigative journalism. They covered everything from steroids and baseball, steroids and professional wrestling, golf, boxing, NFL, NBA, whatever the fuck. John Barr, he was the journalist for this piece on Eric Reed and Rich Strike. John Barr is an esteemed journalist at ESPN. He is the same shitfuck that produced that 90 minutes of propaganda about Bubba Wallace last December. You know the story I'm talking about, when there was a rope in Bubba Wallace's garage that was used to pull down the garage door. Remember that? Bubba Wallace tried to claim it was a noose, that he was the victim of racism. They called in the fucking FBI to investigate that bullshit. They said it was bullshit. Normal people moved on. The mainstream media just couldn't let it go. 18 months later, John Barr produces an E60 documentary about it, victimizing Bubba Wallace. Oh, this poor black man in a whitewashed sport. Please feel sorry for him. He is such a dumbass. He thought his own rope was a noose. John Barr interviewed Eric Reed for Outside the Lines. He didn't travel to Kentucky to do the interview. No. He was afraid of the COVID and all the normal people living in Kentucky. He didn't want to have any of that common sense rub off on his wokeness. During the interview, John Barr asked Eric Reed the question every virgin wanted to know. He asked the question in the typical fake sympathetic woke tone. I'm going to pretend to hate asking this question, but I really want you crucified for violating our commandments. Now, I'm going to give Eric Reed a pass for his answer. I wish he would have answered this question like Chet Hanks did the other day. Some stupid fuck asked Chet Hanks, son of Tom Hanks. He asked him about his repeated violations of the woke commandments. Chet Hanks looks at her and said, social justice warriors can just fuck off. I'm going to give Eric Reed a pass, though. He's not used to dealing with the media. He's clearly not used to dealing with disgusting shit fucks. It's not that his answer was, it's not that it was bad. He just kind of skirted around the issue instead of facing it head on. Watch for yourself.
Of the United States. I have to ask you, was that your actual account, and was that a tweet from you? And if so, what do you have to say about that?
I haven't seen anything about it, haven't been told about it. I don't know what's going on out there. I'm more concerned with Richie and what's going on with us and this great horse and how much he's helping everybody. So, there's haters out there, and that's about how I'm going to leave something like that.
Well,
All right, so ESPN, they are intently focused on this violation of misogyny from this evil white man. They found a violator that fits their narrative. They found a fake victim that fits their narrative. Kamala Harris checks every woke box. Not only is she a minority, not only is she a woman, she's also a complete dumbass. Kamala Harris is underqualified for her job, which is another qualification for Club Woke. You have to hold a job that you didn't earn. She fits right into the community that believes 2 + 2 = Leah Thomas has a dick. Now, I want you to contrast this energy that ESPN's giving Eric Reed. I want you to contrast that energy with the energy they're giving the NBA right now. And I'm not talking about the sexual energy. ESPN they love a good round of butt bongo with Adam Silver. I'm talking about the lack of energy they're giving to the NBA's blatant violation of the woke commandments. Like Eric Reed, the NBA hit the woke trifecta. They violated racism, misogyny, and transphobia. If you ask me, The NBA's violations are far worse than Eric Reid. All he did was make some joke about Kamala Harris's skills when she prays to that tree in her backyard. The NBA, they are getting in bed with a country that stones women, illegally detains black people, and kills men who want to wear high heels. Earlier this week, I brought you the story about the NBA playing 2 preseason games in the United Arab Emirates. I believe we talked about it on Tuesday. It's been a full 48 hours, 2 days. Guess how many times these violations have been mentioned on ESPN? 0. None. Now you have to remember, Elle Duncan, one of the very, very few social justice warriors that don't look like an elephant's ass. Elle Duncan, she interrupted a game during the women's college basketball tournament to boycott the Ron DeSantis bill in Florida that made it illegal for teachers to teach your kids the best way to fuck the garden hose. There was a 60-second moment of silence, which was the best minute on ESPN all year. Normal people, we use a moment of silence to honor our military, honor the death of someone who made a contribution to society. Elle Duncan, she uses a moment of silence because kids living 2,000 miles away from Connecticut won't learn the ecstasy of vacuum fucking. Remember a couple of months ago when Phil Mickelson was thinking about partnering with Saudi Arabia? We talked about it here on the channel. If I remember correctly, he was bitching about pay in the PGA. He was trying to recruit golfers to come play in a league that he was trying to build in Saudi Arabia. There were no contracts signed. There wasn't an agreement in place. It was just talk. It was being considered. When the story leaked to the media, the mainstream media immediately went into boner mode. Saudi Arabia kills journalists. They discriminate against members of the LGBT cut off my dick community. This is a clear violation of our commandments. The media absolutely destroyed Phil Mickelson. Yet, not only do they not criticize the NBA, they fucking praise them for expanding their global reach. The most corrupt media in the world, it's not in China, it's not in Russia, it's not in Saudi Arabia. The most corrupt media in the world, right here in America. At least Russia admits they have state-run media. ESPN, they try to pretend to be unbiased, but they're really taking their orders from people who ask oak trees for guidance. I challenge you to find one mainstream media outlet that is criticizing the NBA for their deal with the UAE. Find one. These people are nothing but pretenders. They pretend the WNBA has national influence when they really get beaten in the ratings by the fucking NWSL. But anyway, let me know what you think. Another example of the hypocrisy at ESPN and the mainstream media. Do you think Eric Reid's tweet was outside the lines? Hell, do any of you even watch ESPN anymore? John Barr has been at ESPN since 2003. I had forgotten he even fucking worked there anymore. If he keeps it up, I'll have to put him back here in the woke Hall of Fame. I've got 8 to 10 other dumb fucks that we're going to rotate in and out of the wall eventually. John Barr might make his way onto the wall if he keeps up this bullshit. But give me your thoughts. Sound off in the comments below. Make sure to like and subscribe. Click the notification bell to receive all notifications from the channel. Best way to contact me is by email at btlkc84@gmail.com. KC_BTL84 on Twitter. I'll see you guys later.